So here's the deal, man. We often encounter weird-ass people. We're weird-ass people ourselves.
Yep.
You know, we do not deny this.
Uh,
But
visually disgusting.
Visually disgusting creatures of superhuman size and strength. Monstrous. Asterisk. Smell like ass.
Yeah.
We're not good people to look at and or be in the direct vicinity of. But even we come across some subhuman creatures as we crawl the streets. And today was no exception, man. Actually, before we get into today...
Yes, you gotta mention that guy.
I gotta mention this fucking guy. I was at Walmart looking for what miscellany may come my way. And I happened across an individual that was in the movie section, which seems to be a place where I find a lot of weirdos. But anyway, he was in the movie section, and he was astonishingly close to the movies. Like, there's browsing, and then there's literally dry humping movies.
Yeah.
This guy was in that latter category because the way he was standing, he was literally like millimeters away from the movies, guy. And here's the thing. This was a weird looking guy, dude, just off the bat, you know. Imagine thin, skip every leg day at the gym, spindly legs with flip-flops. He had a real tan brown skin. He was wearing khaki shorts that were that variety of khaki that's clearly never been washed, so they were kind of dirty. And a white shirt, tautly stretched. Oh, by the way, this white shirt is threadbare as shit.
Yeah.
So it's see-through.
Shit.
But it's tautly stretched over a large, prodigious gut. Now, the guy's not fat. He just happens to have one of these really, like, you know, like, bloated looking, like, you know, the National Geographic go-to picture of a hungry kid in Africa.
Yeah.
They have that unfortunate big gut. Well, this guy had that, but he clearly eats.
Yeah.
If you're Mexican, you'll know what I'm talking about. We're Mexican. If you're Mexican, you know what I'm talking about. He had that special Mexican crew cut that's nowhere near military.
Yeah.
It just looks dirty. Anyway, and he was looking down at the movies like this. That was like what I imagined his face to be like, because there's no way you can crane your neck without making that face.
Without having a gruesome lip.
He was looking at him like that while his gut literally touched the movies. And his feet were like, you know, the tip of the feet, the toes, that is to say, they were under...
The foot tips, you mean?
Yeah, the old foot tips that they're called in the, you know, Manchuria.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were under the fucking shelving.
You didn't say that. You didn't tell me that part.
Well, that's the way he was so close. I thought it was implied.
Yeah.
And he was... And in case you're wondering, man, maybe he's blind and he can't see.
Homie.
He was not touching a single movie. And I stayed there a good long while. And this guy did not move from that location until I went to the toy section and I came back and he had moved over to the next slot of movies, but he was in the exact same position, doing the exact same thing. And I lasted another good 20 minutes there and he didn't move, guy.
Shit.
Just with his gut touching the movies.
You told me this. I was disgusted, of course.
We both assumed that it was something sexual.
Yeah, that was kind of the conclusion I came to. Like, I think it was sexual. Like, why is he touching his gut up against?
What is
shit?
that? Who just stands there?
I got large ass gut, and never has my gut touched a DVD on the shelf.
Yeah. I can honestly say that. And there's DVDs literally pouring out of my ass right now. I don't know why that would put him in the vicinity of my gut.
My gut either.
But there you go.
Yeah.
There's DVDs everywhere right now. There should be at least one touching my gut. And there is zero.
Yeah.
And yet this guy was balls deep in guts and DVDs.
In guts?
So that's a guy I saw. But today I saw somebody that was somehow...
Dude, this guy...
more annoying, guy.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about a guy we both experienced. And you kind of experienced this guy a little bit too. Yeah, but I really experienced this guy. So I took you to...
I experienced him for a very short time and I was instantly annoyed by him.
Yeah, he's one of those cats.
Let me just get mine out of the way.
Okay.
I was going to pay for what I got and he was just kind of hovering around me. And he was kind of like interjecting himself. So I was like, do I pay or is this guy doing things? I thought he was talking to someone.
Yeah.
It was just confusing. And then I started paying, and he just kind of started hovering around me, behind me, and then he left, and he disappeared where you were. And this is where your experience starts.
Yeah. Really, I gotta say that if I was paying and somebody was hovering around me, I don't have a credit card or anything like that. But if you're hovering around me as I'm paying, you're gonna get got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shot, I mean.
I agree.
Iced tea style.
I agree. The only reason why I wasn't like, what is this? Which, I've done, is because I was talking to the chick, the cashier, yeah. And she was setting up my account, so nothing really was happening. Though really, he was getting my address, my phone number, and everything.
And here's the thing, man. He's one of those guys, I'm sure, especially if you're into collectibles and stuff, there's that one overzealously, clearly has no friends guy that's trying to leech off the moment he gets any attention. He was that guy.
Big time.
And I'm not trying to hate, but I hated this guy.
Yeah.
He fucking sucked my nards, man. Literally and figuratively. So you experienced that, and I noticed him. Might as well have guy as close as he was to me.
He was so close.
I first saw the guy while you were looking through what, because there's rooms in this collectible shop. You were in one of the rooms, and I saw him, and he was not letting the owner talk to other customers. The owner would try to. He's a really nice guy, and he's trying to talk to other customers that are coming in, and this guy would not drop the conversation. And he already paid for shit.
Yeah.
He's already done. Get the fuck out of there, man.
Oh, he had already paid?
Yeah, he was
Why
done.
was he there?
I don't know, man. Anyway, this motherfucker kept interjecting, like you said, and the customers would be just like, okay. So most of them just ended up leaving.
Yeah.
And his conversation was
kinda,
shit.
When we got there, it was kind of busy too, because this place is really small.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of people in there, and he was just kind of like like you said, interjecting and everything, which I did notice, but I wasn't really paying attention to him. That's horrible.
Yeah. And then his conversation was just shit. If it was something relevant, or you're in a shop, if you talk to the owner, there's niceties and there's getting to know you as a customer, but there's also like, I'm done with my business, I'll leave you to your business. This guy was done with his business and he was still talking about nonsense. And by nonsense, I mean, if somebody was like, expressed interest in something, he would walk up to them and be like, oh, it's good, I want that too. What is that?
Yeah, horrible.
So anyway, I told you this guy sucks. You didn't know why, and I guess you experienced that once you were at the cashiers. Yeah. So while you were at the cashiers,
the whole time I was paying, he was doing that thing, which I know you've seen because you experienced Joe at that other comic place, which we've talked about already. He was doing that thing where you're talking to someone, or you're obviously the person's busy doing something, the cashier setting up my shit, and he was doing that thing where he was standing next to her, waiting for her to acknowledge him. And she was just ignoring his ass.
What is that?
And then he went behind me and was just waiting in line. I'm like, are you expecting like conversation? She's doing something, you idiot.
Yeah, that's bad.
Anyway.
So while he was over there with you, I was looking at this Hot Toys display. Hot Toys is a higher end brand of figures, right? So I'm looking at that, and I'll just put it out there. I was looking at the Jor-El because that's my boy Russell Crowe. Dude. And I was like, man, $250, that's a lot of money, but that's Russ, and it's a good figure. And he comes up, and he had already, by the way, I had heard him talk about him wanting that figure. It was literally because the customer went up and looked at the box and walked away, and he's like, I might get that next. And then we was like, shut up, you either get it or you don't. But anyway, so I went up because I was like, damn, Jor-El, I can't allow this mouth breather to get this because he's awesome and it's Russell Crowe. So I'm looking at it, and he comes up, and he's like, so expensive, man. And I'm like, Like, I didn't engage. I was just like, fuck this and my life at this moment. Yeah. But anyway, at that point, since he had come from your area to where I was, the owner was disattached from him.
Yeah.
From the umbilicus that he had fucking shoved into him.
Because he kept trying to start conversation with him for like a long time.
Yeah. So I saw the owner by himself for once, and I'm like, hey man, can I talk to you? And he was like, yeah, sure. And he's like, hey, I'm looking for this specific statue. And he's like, well, come into my office. And he took me to his office, which is in the...
separated from the... Not really... It's the same hall, but it's pretty much separated from the shop.
It's a fucking office. Like, it has a door... and you can't see into it unless you go in the fucking door.
Yeah.
That's how a fucking office works, right? So I walk into his office and he's like, let me look it up. Let me see if I've ordered it. And as he's looking, I go, do you mind if I take a seat? And he's like, no, go ahead. So I take a seat. He's looking this up. And this guy just fucking waltzes in.
Horrid.
And he's just standing there. At that precise moment when he waltzed in, I was remarking on the super badass Superman statue the guy had. And this guy just fucking, I don't know, fucking basically moonwalks in. And he's like, oh, yeah, I want one of those too. And I was like, oh, shut up! The only reason I didn't go off on this guy was because this is... I was trying to get something ordered. This is a very nice establishment. We're in our nascent steps in dealing with these people.
The first time we've gone. I've gone there.
Yeah, my second time. So I don't want to fuck anything up, and I won't give the wrong impression. And this fucking, I don't know, Neanderthal troglodytes into the fucking room.
Troglodytes.
And he's just there. Shut the fuck up, bitch. How about that? So. Anyway, you got to keep in mind that this dude asked me into his office to discuss
business,
and it's not like little business. It's like, this is like a $600 statue, okay? What the fuck are you doing here? Who invited you? What is this? And you could see the guy was annoyed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
When he left, to his office, I guess, wherever he was. And the guy, he obviously left because the guy was there wanting to get into a conversation.
Yeah.
And he looked annoyed. And this dude's like insanely nice. Mm-hmm. So I can only imagine him intruding in his space.
Yeah.
Like, who does
uninvited.
That? Yeah.
While he's trying to conduct business. And I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? And anything that was remarked, like the guy was, because it's a Harley Quinn statue. Of course, if you know me and the channel, you know I love Harley Quinn. So I'm looking for that one final piece. I have a lot of nice Harley Quinn stuff, but I'm looking for a final piece to just wrap up my collection. And a big, badass statue is where I'm going, because they have a layaway plan. That's the way to go. So he's looking through all the Harley stuff he's ordered to see if he, by chance, ordered it, right? And he's going through it, and every single one he stops at, the guy says something about it. Oh, that's a pretty good one. Oh, I need to get that. Did you order that? I'm going to come back for that. Shut the fuck up, man. Unless you're a fucking multi-millionaire, you're not coming back for any of this shit. Plus, your one mighty bean that you bought tells me that you're not spending any fucking money in this establishment. Get the fuck out of my face.
It was actually an Android bean he got. This was the sad part.
Yeah, so this dude was just there, guy. And he finally figures out that he hasn't pre-ordered this. And he's like, hey, but look.
Mighty bean?
He's like, I can set up... he's a Sideshow collectibles dealer, so he's like, I can make a call and we can figure out if I can get one, and then, whatever. Trying to set up the whole affair, right? We are discussing the financial details. And this guy's gut is right here next to my fucking face, guy. And he's just there. Mouth breathing.
That's horrible.
And I just turned away. Like, I'm in the chair and I turned away. And I know that the business owner noticed, because how can you not notice a protruding stomach literally fucking being force fed into my fucking mouth, man? and I just went like this. And there was this unspoken like
bond. This
is a thing.
Yeah, between you and the owner.
Yeah. So the good thing is kind of it ended up to my benefit, because again, I didn't blow up on this moron. And second, he seemed exceptionally thankful that I was sparing him talking to this fucking idiot. So we made the deal. We hammered out the deal. We're making our way out. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, man. Give me a call, blah, 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 blah. And as soon as and he's like, I will. And we make to get out of the office, right? And guess who's in the fucking door? And he's just staring. And I'm like... And he finally moves out of the way. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
So, I don't understand what the hell this
dude sucks.
Dickbag was. And by the way, he bared a striking resemblance to the stomach movie guy. He had a big old stomach, but he was thin, and he clearly just crawled out of a cave somewhere.
Yeah, totally.
You know, and I don't mean to be cruel, but he had that dumbish quality about him.
He was mad,
like
retard,
this,
yeah.
But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? What is this?
I feel like
I would say he had a slack jaw, but it was more like he didn't have a jaw.
No, he wasn't actually mentally handicapped. He was a retard.
Yes.
As a person.
We've clarified here that the R word, if you will, is only in reference to people that are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Subhuman animals. You know, dumb people that need to be slapped across the face. It has nothing to do with the mentally challenged. But this guy needs to be put in a trebuchet and slung into the fucking Atlantic, man.
Yeah, he was pretty shit, guy. I don't understand what he was doing. I kind of guessed that he had paid because he had his receipt. But he was like...
You didn't see his bag?
No, I didn't see his bag.
It was a bag with what I can only assume was an atom in it.
I didn't see his bag. It was that small.
Yes.
I just saw his receipt that he was carrying around. And I was like, what is this guy doing? I don't understand this.
Like, dude, leave.
Yes.
You're done.
This place is very small. You're taking up 90% of the space. But just ambling around like a fool.
It wasn't good, guy. But before we hit that place...
Yeah, we did.
Before we hit that place, we stopped at this other comic shop that we hadn't been to in a long time because this was at another location. And I should have known better because our previous experiences at this comic shop hadn't been great. But we stopped there anyway because we had a little bit of time to kill, I guess. And first of all, for a comic shop, it was incredibly barren of comics.
There was like 3 comics there,
yeah. 3 comics, all shitty. You know what I'm saying? Very few comics, man.
Compared to the shop that we went to, which was jam-packed with shit, it was like 50 times the size, I think. A conservative estimate.
They should trade locations because you could fit this shop's tiny stock into that tiny space easily.
Yeah.
Whereas that crammed location could cover this and more. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the point is, this motherfucker had like one long box full of atoms and a bunch of toys on the wall, some statuary and shit like that. But mostly ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it wasn't shitty, it was stuff that you didn't want. Or if it was something you did want, holy shit, was it expensive. For example, there was a katana statue that's running right now like at $50. You know, it might go up because of the movie or whatever, but he was selling it for $125. Come on, guy.
Yeah.
Hell no. I'll grant you a price hike like $60, $70, maybe. Definitely not buying it then. But
$125 though?
$125?
Damn, homie.
The only thing I asked that was properly priced was a Harley Quinn statue. And really, I had no interest in that statue because it was too pricey to begin with in the regular market. But everything this guy had was overpriced, man. A single issue of a comic that's a throwaway comic that nobody wants in a normal shop, $1 to get rid of it. Less sometimes. Yeah. We've gone to shops where they're like, dude, just take comics, basically.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker was selling him at cover price.
Yeah, we were looking through the shit bins basically, which he had when we walked in designated as those are turds. Buy a couple and you get somewhat of a deal, right? And you asked how much these are because we assumed they weren't cover price, and he was just like, "Oh, you can get one and you get a couple free, or get a couple free," and we're like, "That doesn't answer our question, guy. Yeah. How much are these?" So, yeah, when I got a couple from that bin, and they were mad cover price, guy.
Cover price, and which doesn't make sense because some issues are old and the cover price is low.
Yeah.
And some issues are new and the cover price is high, but they're all in the shit bin area.
Which should be like $1.
Should be $1, man. We go to we went until you burnt that bridge. We went to a better comic shop where you could go and just root through endless comics. And the dude's like, yeah, just throw these in for free, man. You know, fuck it. Because they're useless comics other than to read them. You know, and this guy had only useless comics. And that boy was selling them for $10 million, guy. And then any figure that I would ask was insanely overpriced. Like, yeah. I'm talking like a $20 figure, $24 figure. He's going like, that's $55 right there, guy. Fuck no, bitch. But anyway, that's bad.
And he
but,
would try to sell you on it, like, oh, it's gonna go up in price. It's gonna go. It's like,
yeah,
it's not gonna. I'm not going for the gonna. I'm buying it right now, fool.
yeah, that's the thing. The gunna is not gonna. It's not gonna get you anywhere with me. I know what these fucking things are worth, and they ain't worth shit to me other than what.
What
might
little
be the
money
normal
I'm gonna
price.
pity throw at you because you're pressuring me to buy shit.
Yeah, here's the thing. The guy was courteous.
Yes.
Not like the other shop where they were genuinely nice and interested in the customer, but this guy wasn't rude. He was going out of his way to be receptive.
Nice. Yeah.
Very nice, but it was all part of the spiel to sell.
Mad.
The other people, of course, it's a business they're going to sell. The other people were doing it, but they were also interested in their job.
Yeah.
So
I even when I was paying, I even said, "Damn, I'm gonna regret this." Like, well, don't buy anything you don't want to get. You know, they were like really nice in that way. Like,
whereas this schmuck was like, "Dude, you gotta buy this now." But here's the worst part: as we're shopping around, he asked the moment, "Hey, you guys, you know, if you need anything, just let me know." Cool. He only needs to say that once, dude. What was it, like
3 seconds, dude.
Every millisecond, I'm gonna say, dude. Well, realistically, like every 3 minutes, he would ask, "You guys need anything? Just let me know." You know, if I'm looking at something, you know, we got this over here. You know, you need it. You let me know. I'm here.
Yeah, I was looking through a bin of garbage basically, and he's like, "Oh, you can dump that out if you want. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't matter."
So yeah, man. I mean, like whatever it was, he was there.
Yeah.
Sticking his nose in, going, "I'm being nice," but really it meant buy
my
something.
shit.
And I think he knew, guy, because, dude, oh my god, man, there was this Harley poster he had, and it was one of those cheap ass fabric rolls.
Yeah.
Max $5 for that piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was gonna pity throw him $5. You know, gas money, yes, but I was like, man, this guy's plying his spiel super hard. I'm gonna at least throw him $5.
Yeah.
$25 for that, and I was like, golly, man, $25 for a fabric poster that sucks. And he's like, man, those are straight from Japan. That's even worse. Give it to me for free then. That shit sucks. I don't want that shit. So yeah,
he's like, those are the real ones. They're not counterfeit. I'm like, who counterfeits that?
the Japanese do,
That's a good point,
China, you know. But the point is, that's not a selling point.
No.
So yeah, man, every second plying his wares. But anyway, we decide to. Well, I'm assuming that was what you were thinking, to pitty buy from the cheap ass section.
Yeah, that's why you got those hero clicks right away.
Yeah, you got the cheap ass hero clicks. You got some cheap ass comics, and we went to pay, and the cheap ass comics where you bought 3, you get 2 for free. Again, cover price, but whatever. So you found 4, and he's like, yeah, you get the 5th one. So you get the deal for 3, and you get 2 free. So you found a magazine, you got that, boom, right? And then you were like, hey, dude, you saw them Archies, why don't you get them? And I was like, cool, man. Get that deal, right?
Yeah, because when we were in there, you were going through all these Archies and you were laying them out on the counter, arranging which ones you were going to get. I was like, damn, homie.
Well, I was looking at the covers, guys.
Nah.
There was better covers. That's why I was
Arranging them?
Arranging them to see the better covers.
It was corny.
It was mad corny, and I was totally planning on doing something with them.
Yeah.
Namely, running out the store with him because that guy was going to charge me $10 million.
Yeah, homie.
But you're like, why don't you get those Archies? I'm like, really? I'm like, cool. So I get the Archies, which were already pre-prepared with the best covers.
Yeah.
And they hand them to you, and that guy fucking swindled you, guy.
He mad swindled. Now, when I got the trash comics, it came out to like a decent price because of the sale, and I had gotten another comic, and he gave me like a mad deal or whatever.
Right.
Mad deal. And then I got those turds, which should come out to the same amount, and it was like $3 more, guy.
Now you might be thinking that's just $3, but the point is, this guy.
It was a principle.
Yeah, this guy's entire spiel was based on these things being buy 3 get 2 free.
Especially egregious because this homie had tried to upsell me a trash comic as a classic. It was a Swamp Thing comic from the post Bernie Wrightson Len Wein original run, aka the trash run that no one likes and is worth nothing.
Yeah, that one writer that everybody wants to forget.
Yeah,
that guy.
And he was like, "Yo, this is an Alan Moore original. You know, it's priced really well. It's a pretty cool guy upselling me. And the second I saw this, I was like, that's not an Alan Moore guy. But I couldn't place in my mind from what run it was. So I quickly looked it up. I was like, nah, homie, this is not Alan Moore. This is from that shitty guy. And then he went, oh, then it's worth more because it's an original. So you should probably get it because it's actually, I was pricing it like it's an Alan Moore thing. I'm like, nah, homie.
Yeah.
You're pricing it for what a mint copy is worth of that turd. Don't try to upsell me on that, boy. The only reason I considered it is because I want an original Swamp Thing. That'd be cool. But this is a trash comic. You're trying to upsell it for like $10 million, guy.
Here's the thing. I have no problem with people making money off something, you know.
Yeah.
I have a problem with people trying to charge more for garbage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've sold plenty of stuff for more than it's worth, but I've also sold stuff for way less than it's worth.
I think that what bugged me is that he was very obviously knew what he was doing and that it was a lie.
Yes! So easy to tell.
Yeah. Like, you're like, dude, you know this shit. You wouldn't be in the business if you didn't know these comics. You wouldn't be a multi-millionaire like it was revealed to you if you weren't in this thing.
Here's the thing. I have behind-the-scenes information courtesy of the King of Comics that this guy is mad rolling the money, one. And two, that he has in his storage literal long boxes, 2 long boxes or more, some say,
Legend tells.
that are just Hulk 181, a.k.a. the first appearance of Wolverine.
How does that even happen?
That alone has you set for a long fucking time. And that's just one of the few things he has. So, you know, the guy knows what he's doing, and he's trying to sell you a shit comic that's better used for toilet paper for $5 grillion.
Yeah. And he's pimping it out like, oh, it's an original. I even asked him, like, if he ever comes across ticks, and he's like, oh, you don't want any of those reprints. I'm like, I do want those. I just want the comic. But he's like, oh, I gotta get that original. I'm like, nah, homie.
Nah, I don't want
you gotta get that original.
We want to read the fucking things and not have to pay $1 trillion for it. Fuck the original, guy.
Yeah.
It's about reading the fucking comic. I get wanting something for that reason. Well, that's not us, clearly, because we're buying 1-cent hero clicks and pity comics from you fool.
Yeah.
Anyway, at one point, he I guess he like resigned himself to the fact that we were not going to buy any of his fucking wares, except for the cheap garbage. And he was like, I don't know if he was trying to double up on the niceness or whatever, but he's like, well, you guys can
no, he always does that. I remember when we went last time, he did that.
No, not the ice cream thing.
Oh yeah.
You guys can take some of these here free. Like it was like all like religious.
Yeah, stuff.
Propaganda basically, and it was a combination of one. I don't know if anybody's familiar with this, but they're called chick tracts. They're these like really graphic, small, gruesome Christian comics that are terrifyingly awful. I'm talking like nightmare material, you know? And I had come across a lot of those while locked up because, you know, a lot of Christians leave propaganda there. And I was like, whoa, these are fucking terror incarnate. So when he said you guys can have some of these free, man, I just took one of everything.
I was paying and I turned and you have a mad stack like this big of chick tracks just piling them on.
And he's like, damn, boy. He didn't take shit, but he took the free shit. But then he did give us a free ice cream, so...
I gotta say, ice cream was pretty good.
Damn, boy. My ice cream was good, but your ice cream was better. Yours was banana.
Yeah, I couldn't finish it, though, because my tooth hurt.
That dude was mad trying to sell shit, though.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm not hating. Like I said, it's his hustle or whatever. I respect
it's just like
it.
It's like you say.
It's the way it is.
It's so transparently
artificial,
sleazy, and artificial. Yeah, that's really what sucks.
Like I even said, like I didn't spend much there. I spent like maybe like $30 for everything, which is way more than that guy deserved. But I even said when we got home that like it makes a huge difference how I wanted to spend more in the other place because they were genuinely nice. And you just want people. You just want to give people like that business. Whereas this other dude, I was like, damn, homie.
Yeah, it really makes a difference how people present themselves. That you want to help them, even if they're already fucking rich.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh yeah, that's a cool guy. That's a cool person. He's actually genuine, or she's actually genuine. I'll throw a buck that way, man. You know.
Yeah.
This guy deserved to have bucks taken away from him. Let me tell you that. But that first shot that we mentioned was great. Except for that guy that kept interjecting his gut into things. But anyways, let us know what you think about these fucking experiences. Are we overreacting? Of course. But at the same time, no. Anyway, and we're out.
This music, story times, all kinds of shit for you. Anything goes inside the night, don't come with corpulent Jews. Movies, music, story times, all kinds of shit for you. Anything goes